Hello, I thought I would just do a little video and play with some of my favourite products to play with. I love these Spectrum Noir Sparkle Glitter Inks that you can get. The mica that's in them is beautiful, so you just rotate them so that the ball bearing inside mixes your pot. They're really pretty and they're extremely vibrant. So I'm going to have a play with these tonight. I'm probably just going to make some backgrounds that I will stamp onto or die cut onto later. Just some messy fun. As you can see, I'm already covered in ink. That's just taking the lids off. And there we go. So this colour palette that I'm playing with just now is the teal, the purple, the pink. But I do have some Spectrum Noir and Nuvo pens, Bibby pens, quite a few different makes of pens that I'm going to be playing with as well, because I like the ink that's in them. I've also got some ink spray mists here as well. I've got this one that's a Colours by Phil Martin. This one is the Cosmic Shimmer Vintage Mist as well. That's really a gorgeous colour. I don't like spraying them when I've not got a spray booth, just in case it goes anywhere, but just to let you see how beautiful that colour is when you see it. And I also like the fact that you can just drop it on and play and get the top back on, because if we don't put the top back on, you can guarantee what will happen. So as you can see, the mica in it is just beautiful, and this is quite a natural gold colour. I've probably still got some purple on my brush. It's just really pretty, and I mean, you can mix. There's nothing to say that you can't mix your colours and see what happens. Some people use a straw to blow them to get different effects. Some people use a pen, the marker spray things that you can get. Things very descriptive. And it's just a case of just moving the colour around and seeing what happens. And it's not anything challenging when you're doing it. You want to get different effects just by splattering and letting the colours do what they want to do. Probably a good idea would be not to put the same brush in all your different inks, but just for the play-in. So, oh, and I forgot to introduce myself. Obviously you'll know who I am if you're on my channel. I'm the Noble Crafter, one part of the Noble Crafter, the other part is watching. Just now all I'm doing is dropping some coarse salt onto it just to get a nice effect. And what happens is, once the salt is dried, your ink is dried completely, what you'll find out is that you'll get the most beautiful fossilised type patterned papers. They're really pretty, and every one you do is different, and it's great fun just to see what the salt does. So that's a couple that dried from playing the other night. I'm probably just going to leave that like that and let the ink just run off it a little bit so that I can put it out of the way. It's quite messy but fun. What I might do is I might just dab up the edges of this with a tissue, just so that it doesn't cover everything in ink. As pretty as that may be, I'm not wanting ink everywhere. I've got salt everywhere. So, and as you can see, there's still stuff on your mat which you never want to waste. You just want to drag some watercolour card through all your ink, because you can get some phenomenal effects. It's like that. I just love doing this. I just love the fact that you don't know what you're going to get. You get something different every time you do it. You think you're going to get one thing and you get something completely different. You could also just spray directly onto your mat. That's another way of doing it. Just drop some paint onto your mat and random splodgy bits. I love that word, splodge. So, just see what happens here. As I say, nothing's planned, it's just a case of make a mess and have fun. After all, that's what crafting's about. Oh, I quite like the way that one's turned out. It's quite organic. What we'll do, I think we'll do a word. I have these words that came out of one of these boxes for Crafters Companions, so these are already on watercolour card, so I'm just going to take the bits out of this and swipe this through my paint. And if you worry about getting messy fingers, just wear gloves. I mean, the inks are good, they come off. I use alcohol hand wash and I get quite a lot of the ink off my hands that way, or if you just wash your hair, you normally find that it comes off. Now I've got some salt on my mat, so I'm just going to sprinkle the little bit of salt that's on my mat onto this tag that I've got sitting here, just to get rid of that salt. And don't waste your salt. Once you've used it and you've took it off your cardstock, keep it in a little box and use it again, because there's nothing to say that you can't use them over and over and over, because all that happens is you get coloured salt, so it's not a big deal. And so I mean, this tub of salt, I've had this tub of salt for about 2 years, because this is all I use it for, and all I do is I just keep on putting my salt in another tub. For the purpose of this video, I haven't got the salty tub out, but you can do that, no problem. So this is just water that I'm spraying on my messy mat, just to see. And as you can see, this is a mat from Crafters Companion, but lots of different companies do them. This video isn't in association with Crafters Companion or anybody, just that I've mentioned their products because I do like their products. The mat repels, so you get quite a lot of bubbles, which is really quite nice. So it's always nice to just pop a piece of card on and just rub over lightly to see what happens. Sometimes it just goes into a big puddle of mess, and other times it goes like so. Which is really, really pretty. You've got to be careful because certain colours will give you mud. As you can see, I'm starting to get a little bit brown around the edges, so I wouldn't go down on that again, because I think probably what will happen, in fact I'll go over it to show you what I mean, but I think probably what will happen is that I'll maybe have mud this time round. So I'll just take a card blank and just pop it on and we'll see. See what I mean? We've just got mud because what's happened is all the colours have pulled together and gave us this brown colour, which is perfect if you want to die cut autumn leaves and things out of it, but not so good if you're doing other projects. So if you don't want that to happen, then you would just be, if you don't want that to happen, then you would just be very careful with what colours that you put on your mat. And then obviously if you stick to this colour palette, you're not going to get mud ever. Doesn't matter how many you drop on there. But because I put the oranges and things in. Now this tissue is soaked completely with ink, and a lot of people, I mean, it's like a dye effect. And a lot of people keep these and dry them and cut flowers out of them, and they are really pretty for doing that. The other thing you can do is actually Mod Podge or PVA glue them onto projects. So it's always worth keeping a hold of your tissues when you're doing any sort of play like this as well. So don't waste anything. It's all about being creative and arty, and that's very creative and arty. So it's something worth remembering when you're playing like I'm doing. So we're just doing a little clear up of the mat. And just get rid of all this ink stuff. So let's go back to, now I've done some direct paper just by splodging the paper on. Other things you can do is just take some of your colours and drip them onto your watercolour card. You can also, I was wanting to use some bubble wrap to show you, but I've actually misplaced where I put it. So if my trusty assistant could find me some bubble wrap, I will show you some bubble wrap. Thank you very much. Plain, which is rather pretty as well. So all you need to do is just lay your sheet of bubble wrap onto your watercolour card and pull it off, and you will get a nice pattern of bubble wrap, as you can see. And the ink that's on here never goes to waste either, because you can keep doing it and then transfer the ink that's on your bubble wrap onto a different project. So as you can see, you've got a bubble wrap circular type pattern, and that's really what it's all about. It's all just about making patterns, just playing, just having fun. As I say, not always having to plan a craft project is nice, just to be free and loose and just see what happens. And that was one of the tags, just soaking up the bubble wrap, which gives you a nice effect. And if you want to do a little bit more, if you think that you want, let's do a different colour on this bubble wrap. Let's see. For some reason this spray is not working very good. So I must admit, it's the first time that I've actually used these mica sprays, so maybe the mica's gotten caught up. Let's see, maybe go, trying to think. I think I might put a bit of silver on here. The silver is a little bit, oh, I think I should maybe give it a little shake. See what happens. Well, that certainly doesn't look silver, but it might. It doesn't look silver to me, it looks a kind of browny colour. Well, we'll see what happens when I put the paper on. Let's see. This one's drying a lot more now, and you can see we've got quite a lot of brown in it, but we've also got this lovely part here where we've got a lot of pinks and purples and a bit of the green showing. So I still like that background, and I will still use it for bits and pieces. Let's see what we've got. I don't know, that is certainly not silver. Oh dear, I think that pen's been missed. Never mind. So, it's even more fun playing with it when you don't expect to get the colour that you're getting. I'll just quickly give this a quick wipe over, just to take the majority of this off, and then we will go in and just dab this. So I want to add some more colour to this part of the paper. So we'll use some more purple. It's actually more like a cerise colour. And what will we do with it next? We add some more pinks to it and lighten it up a little bit. As you can see, there's no real technical That's a sparkle pen, so that's going to give a nice shimmer. As you can see, there's no real technical challenge in this. This is just all about playing, just having fun. That's what it's all about. And I'll put the bubble wrap back over and we'll see what happens this time. And it's quite pretty. And then, because there's a lot of liquid on this, and I see all that sparkle, I want to add some salt to this, because I think when you see the way the salt wicks on this with all that sparkle as well, it'll look really, really pretty. So, now I do suggest you leave yourself plenty of places to dry these, because you want to dry them quite flat. And I'm just going to dab into that a little bit and take some of that away. So that's another one. My hands are terrible, as you can see. Not to worry, that's the fun. That's what I love about this. You just play. Just keep playing. Got some more of these words here, so just pop these into this bubble wrap. See what happens. You can really see that bubble wrap there. That's really pretty. And it's really nice when you're cutting flowers out and things as well, once it's dry. And it's good because you can do your colouring using the same pens, so it all matches with your ink. I like doing that, so you get like a nice layered effect. So that's really pretty. It's not overly coloured, so if you think it's a bit too faint, all you need to do is just pop it back into your ink, and then there you go, you get another little look. So I really like that. I really like the way that's came out. So, and I haven't tried, but I presume, because it's ink, I presume you could stamp with it. So I have these stamps. I'm using Crafter's Companion products tonight, mainly, and as I say, that's just randomly, because I've picked them up. It's not planned in the slightest. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that on my mat. I'm not going to bother putting it in a stamping block, and I'm just going to put some ink over the top of it, and then we'll just shove a tag on it and see what happens. So, yep, so that, you can stamp with it. So let's try that with some of these flowers then. I've got some flowers here. So all I'm doing here is making my, let's get a clean brush. This one will do. Oh, that's a tiny brush. Let's not get that tiny brush. Let's just use one of these. So all I'm doing is just using my mat now as like a stamping block, and because this is a water product, the stamp is repelling the ink, but that's okay, because that will give you a, see, it's not perfect, but I really like it because it's different. It's still stamping. Do you know what? No, I haven't. I actually thought I'd put the stamp on the wrong way round on the mat, but I haven't. But I like the effect. And if you don't want your work to get all different colours, you'll wash your hands in between. As you can see, my hands are absolutely muppet. Yeah, I'm liking that effect. It's pretty, and you can just, not much on there. Just ink it up and see what happens. As you can see, the water is getting repelled a little bit on the stamp, but I just think it adds to that organic look. I just love it. I just think it's beautiful just to play. You don't always have to have a plan in your head, just have some fun. I'm just splodging a little bit onto this stamp now, and I'm just going to take it on like that. Oh, I love the shimmer in that. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but the shimmer pool that's been left on that mat is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm just swiping the stamp with the ink on it through. And when I make projects with these once they're dry, I'll show you the projects. Probably just do another quick little video just to show you what we make out of all of these. Because unfortunately I can't dry them quick enough to make projects with them today. You could dry them with a heat tool, but really you're wanting to just let them. And all I'll do with these stamps is just take them and wash them in the sink, which is not a big deal. So we'll clean this up again just to make sure we don't end up with mud. So that's that. And again, I'm just going to show you the tie-dye effect that you get on these tissues. And if you separate the ply of them, they're very pretty, and I'll probably just use them as decoupage onto something, because I really like that look. What else can I show you with this? You can obviously use your stencils as well when you're doing anything with it. I'm going to take another stamp and just see what we get, but I'm not sure. I think this might be too detailed, but we can give it a go. And I'm not using a block or anything because I really want it to be just more. And that works quite good. You can see the shape of it. That works quite nice for a butterfly. And then what you can do is once that's dry, you could ink up your butterfly again just with black ink and then stamp over the top of it, and that will give you the details that you're not getting on your stamped image. So that's quite pretty. And of course they're pens, so we can actually write with them, so we can say hello with them, for example. So you can do that. You probably wouldn't do it as big, and you might not want to do it on watercolour card, but you can do that with them. I just love these sparkle pens. I just think there's such a lot that you can do with them. I haven't even prepped that one, and I just think they're just so pretty. And if anything there that you've done and you don't want it, all you need to do is just get your brush, which I'm hoping is not going to be all brown now because I've had it in that water, and just paint out your colours any way you want, and just cover your card again. Another thing that I really enjoy doing, but I haven't done it tonight, is I really like to do embossing, heat embossing with Versamark, and I'll do a resist technique where I've got all my Versamark images stamped onto my card, and then I'll go over it with this ink, and that's really pretty as well. I should have thought to do that, but I haven't done it tonight, but that is a beautiful look when you do that. So basically that's what tonight was all about. I'll pop in again some of the ones that I did previously, just to let you see the sparkle. I used the Ink Lily pens for these ones, so that's why they've got the gold sparkle, because most of the other ones have got silver sparkle. And just the same, I haven't cut anything out of them yet, but I'm going to. I did have a fairy background that I did, but I can't seem to think what I've done with it to show you. But basically that gives you an idea of what you can do with these pens. So when I make some projects, I'll either get them tagged on to the end of this video, or I'll do a separate little video to show you. I hope you've enjoyed watching this and had some fun with me tonight. I'm away to clear up because my hands are absolutely covered. So thank you very much for watching, and keep safe everybody. Bye for now.